Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to Play On. My name is Candace Barrett.
I'm still Rob Mackay.
And I think I'm still Pearcey. We've been unsure of ourselves there.
What day is it? Who am I? Where am
It's
I?
rugby season.
Rugby season.
Oh, my goodness.
It's in full swing.
What?
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but the Waratahs are the real deal this year.
Stop the comp. Absolutely stop the comp. Freeze it right there.
And look, who cares about the rest of the comp? We beat the Reds.
Yeah.
Not that they have 6 people injured, but yeah.
You guys enjoy it?
Look, I was obviously there, and not obviously, but you know me, I'll be there. So that middle 30 where it was 17-12, we're thinking, if the Reds score next, I don't know if the wheels will stay on. My goodness. And then we had some Max magic. Max.
Yeah, Max.
Box office.
Yeah.
There were two pieces. There were his try where that poor old Jock Campbell, he was never going to stop
He didn't
Max.
touch him. Did not get a hand on him, mate.
No,
Nope.
no, and it slowed Max down enough that someone else had a chance. And Max went, nope, put on the afterburners.
My son described it as auraful.
Auraful.
It was just, and that was
Full
in
of
front of
aura.
us. It was just, you could see it coming. I've been watching that sort of stuff from Max for years, so I just went, Lewis was beside me. He's the same. He's got this.
He got the ball about 80 out, and I said, he's home.
Yeah.
And then he went, and you could just see him running the calculations in his mind. I got to do this. I want to slow up and do that, and then I'm going to have to go, but I think I've got this.
Yeah. And there was another piece earlier on where he did an amazing intercept, offloaded out the back of his hand. That led to actually a Queensland try, would you believe? It was an absolutely crazy couple of minutes of play, but it was highly entertaining.
And we saw that across most of the Super games. The Highlanders-Crusaders game. Holy smokes. The back three from the Highlanders. Where do they keep dragging these guys from? The power plays on the wing at full pace, they are spectacular to watch. They will give some teams hell this year, which is going to be great to watch.
Yeah, and there's a coach there who's got a few points to prove as well. So, yeah, very interesting. And Crusaders typically slow with their
slow out of blocks. Rob
so.
Penny didn't look all that worried about it. They weren't far off the pace, and I think they'll both be there at the end. I watched the Blues and the Chiefs. I'm not sure either of them are going to be there at the end. That was pretty scrappy, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Things like New Zealand 10s missing. I think they missed the first 5 shots at goal.
Well, the Blues don't have Bowden. He's off a little bit, so maybe they're missing.
And Maggie was on touch for that, and she kept going, that's no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now I've got to run back to the sideline because they're playing on. And I think Bock was like, that's a 22. Yeah, that's a 22.
Well, both New Zealand rugby and Australian rugby have the 10 dilemma. There's no clear candidate, and that raises lots of questions. So Super Rugby is a great audition, but who will finish on top? I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting comp. I haven't watched the Battle of the Pacific. I haven't watched the Moana.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
game.
watching the Jura versus Moana Pacifica. It looked
will
pretty
watch that.
steamy there. Looked like it rained before and looked like a bit of heavy boots.
Mind you, Perth looked horrible.
Did anyone not notice the referees or the assistant referees in their beautiful "What the frick is going on"?
I love
Please
the
hire
highlighter
me
colour.
as your new fashion mood
I love
board
the
person.
highlighter colour. I did not like the shorts with it. They are a little bit gross.
I'm actually finding it really hard to understand the color theme. At first, I thought it was because maybe one team was wearing white and the other was wearing sort of orange. I'm like, oh, maybe this is the really awkward third jersey they never wear. And then, no, it's consistent.
Look, I think it's a cunning plan because what they've done is they've put the referees in match kit like this, and everyone's talking about what they're wearing, not what they're doing. So it's a bait and switch plan. So
a cunning plan.
It's a cunning plan, and it's working a treat. So
I would like to say up front, I was so impressed with the comparison between Super Rugby, refs getting in there and making a call and getting the game going versus Six Nations of,
oh, yeah.
let's stop.
It's
take
really
a breather,
interesting, watching both.
And let's get this granularly correct. I love the comparison between the two products at the moment.
And they're both good products too.
They are.
Six Nations was good footy.
Yeah, we just was there some imperfect decisions? Yes, but gosh, the momentum of the game, beautiful to watch.
I really enjoyed the Italy match in particular?
Well, let's quickly run through because I know, Pearcey, you're short on time, so we're going to have to be disciplined today. I don't know how the hell we do that. I don't know whether that has some bondage with it or not, or some special clothing. But let's run through the list. Some quick upfront news. Mod Squad was what I did on the weekend. Pearcey, you were notably absent. You were meant to be there, which meant a few people threw you under the bus in your absence, as you would expect and anticipate. So. Yeah. It was a gathering of mods, which are match official developers, formerly known as referee coaches from around New South Wales, just trying to get a little bit of alignment.
A little bit of consistency. And I'm deliberately absent because I'm Mr. Inconsistent, so that's okay.
I think I got the email as well, but it came way too late for me to switch plans and stuff.
Yeah, it was open to all mods, so there was a good roll-up.
All levels.
All levels, so some good topics covered, and I think that'll bring some better alignment. Speaking of alignment, we've just had Shape of the Game in Sydney for the Shoot Shield crew, so a quick reminder. So that's where the referees, the coaches, the administrators get together and talk about how they want the game to be managed during this year. So that was held yesterday, which is Monday, as we're recording. And so we'll see the fruits of that.
I look forward to hearing what comes out of that.
Yeah.
Later in the season.
That's my World Cup ticket.
No.
Okay, you're going to have to tell us what it is,
So
Pearcey.
jealous.
Is it
literally so small.
Australia v New Zealand at Stadium Straya.
Nice.
Stop it.
And Italy versus Romania, SFS, Gadigal country.
Yeah, that'll be good, that one.
I'm on Team Italy.
Yes.
I look good in Italian blue, so I'm going to run with that. Is it Azzurri blue? Is that what we call it?
Azzurri, absolutely. We've got that in our wish list as well. So nice segue, Sam. Rugby World Cup tickets are on sale on Wednesday. Yeah, so don't forget to pre-register if you haven't already, and get your computer, your credit card, and your mortgage ready.
Have a kidney ready to sell.
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely. How many times this happened? 2003 was the last one I went to.
Yeah.
It was nearly the best night of my life.
When we went to some cracking
went to one in
games.
London, actually.
Yeah, so we're planning to go to Newcastle. Newcastle's got a great weekend, Saturday, Sunday game from memory, and a couple of the not quite leading lights, but I think we've got Japan and Samoa and Fiji and Spain. I mean,
I've actually reffed that game, Japan-Samoa. That will be a cracker. They don't actually like each other very much.
No, it's going to be a doozy. So that's a Sunday and a Monday and a long weekend. So looking forward to that.
Love it.
If I can get tickets.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
You'll get tickets.
So World Cup tickets are on sale on Wednesday.
Don't you know who I am? I'm Wayne Erickson.
Well, you probably play that card once. Yeah.
You've got
to get out of here. Oh, dear me. Let's not go there. All right, Candace, what else did you want to talk about?
Yeah, I wanted to bring up that the New Zealand rugby referees will have Mindset Engage. They have that on their sleeve of their jerseys, and it's to support mental well-being across the rugby community. And also it helps towards New Zealand rugby referees' ongoing commitment promoting positive mental health and at every level of the game.
I love that.
Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to highlight that because I think it's important. And I know we work with a mental health place as well.
I'm not laughing at mental health. I'm just laughing at some of your descriptions of the kit. I presume that's you, Candace. 70s aerobics, popsicle, let the blind people watching. The tradies high vis. I love that.
So that was that point. Back to other news. This is really exciting. World Rugby have launched a Women's in Rugby career program for 2026 with virtual webinars running from April through to November, focusing on career development, confidence building, and global networking. And the applications close February 26th.
Which is really timely because I think International Women's Day is the week after, isn't it?
Yeah, March 8 usually is that.
Yeah.
Rugby Australia have got Women and Girls in Rugby Week from Feb 28 to March 8. And Rugby Australia have their first National Community Match official webinar on March 11. And that's with the topic of women and girls in rugby.
And look, I love to really jump off script with our agenda. So I'm going to highlight now the absolute highlight of the weekend for me. Hollie Davidson Hats off. You
Yay!
are a
Yes.
legend.
Whoop, whoop,
You are a
whoop.
legend. Hollie,
My
as we
feed was
alluded
full
to,
of it, and I loved it.
we alluded to it last week. She took control of a Six Nations game. I can't remember which coach it was just praising the crap out of her.
There is
And
an Italian captain.
Italian coach and captain were both praising the crap out of her, wasn't it? And she deserved it. She was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Queen
Spot on.
Hollie, hats off.
And that's what we need. We need lots of good players supporting referees and saying positive things after
And let's be
matches.
real honest. It's not hard to say positive things about Hollie. Like, there were no gaps in her performance. She was all over it.
If we're going to talk about Michele Lamaro and his class after the game, we can also talk about his behaviour during the game, because the way he spoke with Hollie throughout the game was very respectful, and it really highlighted how poorly the Irish captain was behaving as well. And whilst the Ireland team got over the line it would not have helped them.
No.
Yeah.
And they reek of a team that's falling from grace.
Oh, do they what? Absolutely. Yeah.
I think they react really well. I think they hear the noise of a penalty and you can see they're backpedaling, they're reacting, and they're not sort of throwing their arms up in the air. So, yeah, I enjoy that as well. We got here some heat policy, which I did notice was in the Super.
Yeah. And really important, because as we alluded to earlier, playing in Fiji, Moana and Drua, it was hot and humid. And
same in Perth. And in Perth, it didn't impact the momentum of the game. I think in Fiji it did.
Oh, I think it did in Perth as well, because if you look at what was happening in the first 20 minutes in Perth, the Force they scored the first couple of tries. They had speed and pace, and they looked really good. And then the water break came, and that was pretty much their last shot.
Momentum.
And then Brumbies came back, scored a couple of tries, and then just blitzed them from there. Plus, half time's longer. It's gone from 15 to 20 minutes. You got your 3-minute water break at the 20-minute mark, or the nearest stoppage around that. There was a funny little section in Perth where they had the measuring device with Goog. And I don't know about you, Pearcey. I don't know if you saw it, but
I did. Yeah.
It's like orange with a weird little.
It was like a Nokia phone from the 90s.
A 4-foot Tasmanian with flared pants.
But it had all the echoes of Tony Gregg and his pitch reports. A few sweaty jockstraps out there today, my boys.
I think Goog was having a good laugh at himself.
Oh, absolutely. It was very, very funny. Like, it's a smart policy. We need it when we're playing rugby in February in the Southern Hemisphere, let's face it.
Yep.
So, and we're seeing it in some of the other games as well. So, something to be aware of.
Yeah.
I saw 3 separate occasions players going aerial.
Yeah, trends, guys. Rugby trends. I agree. Pearcey, I was like, why do people think you're allowed to do this? This is never a thing that you're allowed to do.
And there was a couple where they were disallowed, but there was one just off where they dived. So one pass off. I think that was in the Blues game.
Was it box? Ben O'Keefe's
I think it was in the Blues game.
Yeah, the Chiefs Blues. There was a try.
And it wasn't over a ruck. He jumped over a tackle, which was allowed, and it still looked a bit messy. But that's not what we're trying to rub out. We don't want them diving over the breakdown.
No,
landing on
because
players.
It makes it hard for the tackler because you're not allowed to tackle anyone in the air. So we're jumping. So that doesn't. Especially.
Look, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here around jumping in the tackle, jumping to score for a try, and then when you jump over a collapse ruck near a try line, and they all intersect and it gets a bit messy. Super have come out and said the try awarded to Chiefs player Tupou Vaaea should not have been awarded.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's, I understand why they do that, but it's a bit clunky. We saw it in Six Nations as well.
Yeah, I think it happened. It was Hollie that called it out, right? I forget which team was it who did it.
I'm pretty sure it was one of the Irish players, and they went a bit early. They tried to jump for the try, but unless you're an Olympic long jumper, you weren't going to get there. So she's made the judgment call that
I think it was the hooker. I was like, what is he trying to do?
Well, he was channeling Dan Sheehan. I don't think it was Dan Sheehan, but I can't remember. But yeah, judgment call. No, sorry, too far out. And there were a couple of others where players actually were about to be tackled and the ball carrier jumped to get the pass, and it was play on because, well, you could actually penalise that if you wanted to. And there was one where they were penalised. So it's that really shades of grey where I think you need to have a good feel for what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you might not get that right because it's quite dynamic. So probably an area that might need a little bit more explanation and tidy up. But it's hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but it's certainly got a few people talking, no doubt about that. And I would imagine the Blues coach probably feels aggrieved.
Do you want to discuss anything from specific rugby matches?
I haven't watched Wales v France, but that went according to the script. Let's talk about Scotland and England, which
I watched some
didn't go
highlights.
according to script.
I'll come back to Wales and France, but yeah, happy to talk Calcutta Cup because the Scots like nothing more than getting up for the Calcutta Cup because...
Yeah, and it was fantastic hearing a Sydney boy yelling out, yes, after he won the Calcutta Cup.
and the Rayburn Shield.
It was a big day out for Scotland, and they started like a house on fire. England didn't.
No,
they were chasing, and they didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I thought early in the game, I think it was Scotland's first try, maybe second try, when Itoje showed him the sideline and got skinned hard by the winger. That was so cool because Murrow, I reckon Murrow thought he had him covered, and he did not have him covered.
Nope. Good job on Nika.
Yeah.
For refereeing that. The momentum of the game, especially when I don't know if you guys saw Scotland, Finn Russell was kicking a conversion and he was just walking away back to go to the center of the field and Nika was there, but I think he tripped over Nika and he almost completely fell down. But my staying commentary bit doesn't show that, so I had to see it after. But that was quite funny.
And I thought Nika was put under pressure early and responded quite well. I thought England were really negative in the first sort of 30 minutes.
Yeah, the yellow card for the
yellow
winger.
card was inside the first 10 minutes, wasn't it, for repeat infringements?
He got him for cynical, the first one. And, in the context of the game, I reckon on review, they go back and look at that and go,
I liked it. It really it opened up the game. Set a good
look.
Set a
for
good
me,
precedent.
it was one of those 50-50 calls. Did he release? Oh, you'd probably argue that in the middle of the field, you probably let the one go, but because it's in a try scoring position, you probably got to do something about it. And then you've gone to a yellow, and then the same winger's done a poor challenge in the air, triggering another yellow, and all of a sudden we're at red.
It was a poor challenge in the air.
Oh,
it was horrible.
It's not like his first ever England rugby match. He's been doing it for a while. Has a number of caps now, so he probably knows
I thought
better.
the combination of did he release versus was he back on his feet? I don't think he released, and he definitely wasn't back on his feet yet either. I think it was very much a cynical play. But there had been a couple of calls beforehand as well that I'm sure weighed into it. So for me, I was happy with it, and the rest of the game opened up because of it. I think he set a good precedent.
Well, I think on balance too, the challenge in the air was sort of orange. So
on its own,
yeah, that's right. So you add it all together and you probably get to the right outcome, which is what we deal with sometimes. So, funnily enough, I don't think it decided the game because the game was pretty much
done.
In
Well
the
done.
slot by then. Yeah. And that was symptomatic of the English. They just did not turn up. Like they must have thought it was a Monday game.
I think they tried to stick with their game plan even if things were going wrong. And then Scotland are much better at playing like free-flowing rugby while England need to play by the books. That's just my personal.
If there was a criticism, the Scots were up very, very quickly and they were very, very tight on that defence line the whole game. That's the blueprint for beating England, clearly. Just get off the line and give them no time to act. And I was amazed at that charge down off a drop goal attempt. I was amazed at that. And they didn't go back and review whether it was onside, but it was really tight.
Yeah, I think they swept that one in the background, as in they reviewed in real time rather than formal review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nika was he hit overdrive on the way chasing it.
Absolutely.
The Scottish goal was quick.
Yeah.
He found another gear. It was awesome.
Talk about a nail in the coffin. Like that was it. You just saw all the English heads drop and you went, nah, they got this.
Yeah.
And they did. So
so I've dropped my first tip for the Six Nations.
All right. I did terrible this weekend, by the way. I was like, this is not going very well.
Yeah.
Rob, did you tip Scotland? I don't think you did. I think you said Finn Russell's going to put pressure on and then went with the English anyway. So
after we do the tips, I have a question about how Nika spoke about, he did lots of captain sort of warnings and chats about the scrums. like he would like point at one player and be like, if this player does cynical things within the scrum, he's going to get penalized properly. And then he did it as a team. And then all of a sudden they're at their final warning, and then they switched all their front rows. So I was like, oh, is this like a reset basically?
I think it was with a short fuse.
Or do you still get to warn them that your other team is on a warning? And like, yeah, that's where I got a bit confused.
I would have been really interested, and they were on their best behavior, the new guys that came on, but I would have been interested to see what he would do if they didn't act on best behavior.
Because I saw that, I was like, ooh, that's very good tactically.
Yeah, smart coach going, okay, we're
Let's
on the
get these
radar
people
here. Get rid of them.
Yep.
Put new ones on, and maybe we'll get a reset and a chance to buy some time until we get our shape together, if we do. So, yeah.
How would you guys do it? Would you warn them that they're on a warning, or would you let it play out and then give them another warning, even though, I don't know.
I think it depends on how long before the next scrum, and I reckon you have a look at the scrum first.
And the game didn't need it.
Yeah.
The game had enough cards, and it was decided by that stage. I think England were beaten.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Sorry, that was just something
I
noticed.
don't know.
It's a good point. Like, it's a contextual decision again, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no hard and fast rule. You've got to just work out what does the game need. And
yeah. Cool. Thanks, guys.
So what do we want to do? Wales and France or Ireland, Italy?
Let's do Wales, France quickly.
Okay, so two things in Wales, France. At about 10 minutes. Oh, by the way, what a great game. It was so fun watching France. Oh, my goodness.
It was.
They really are box office. And, they put the cue on the rack at 60 minutes when they took off DuPont, brought on their fourth string 9. The game sort of lost a bit of gas at that point, but still, my goodness, an LBB, box office again.
Yeah, they definitely want to get bonus points, eh?
Him and Maxi,
yeah.
So excitement machines. So at 10 minutes, interesting play, ball carry near the line, clearly knees on ground. Tacklers haven't released him, and they've dragged him over the line. Now, I don't know if he got it grounded, but James Diamond, the referee, didn't go there. He just went back for the not release. But we've had this happen before where two wrongs don't necessarily make a right. Tackled player's been dragged across the line, hasn't released, dots it down. So he cut that one off at the pass and just went for the first not releasing, which was really clear. So tip for new players on all fronts. The second one was really interesting. So in the 69th minute, the French put a little dink through into the corner, and the French winger, not LBB, the other one, who'd also had a cracking game, he's chasing it through into the corner, and he tried to do the tightrope, tiptoed down the touching goal line, and he didn't quite get his timing right, which meant he was touching goal. But in terms of other options, he could have stayed outside and just dotted it down, potentially, depending on what was happening, the dynamics of it, which is hard to do under pressure, right? But just an awareness piece as well, because that could be another option there. Yeah. So not that they needed the points, but...
What was the final score in the end? Was it 50-something?
Yeah.
To 12?
Yeah, it was a 44-point margin.
And I think that will be Wales's closest score to France for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I heard the week before they were really struggling selling tickets as well. They had thousands of tickets left over.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, there's a trend. People are not as prepared in buying tickets early. So they're trying to spin it off a little bit.
Who'd have thought?
They still had 50-something thousand people there.
It does sadden me.
It does.
I have a lot of Welsh in me, but they are not box office at the moment. I'm surprised they're getting any people at the game.
No.
But they're doing deals on drinks.
Well, that'll work. The Welsh don't mind a pint, so...
I did notice one thing on the England game. Did you notice the field advertising?
No. What did it say?
Guinness 0.0, an alcohol-free Guinness. What the hell?
What's going on in the world?
I'm intrigued.
Hard pass.
Let's. Yeah.
No, I'm adventurous enough to want to try it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a fan of real Guinness, so Guinness with no alcohol. I was like, that's
what's the point?
That's 3 strikes.
I like a baby Guinness.
It's a meal in a glass, so that might work.
If I want to drink Guinness, I'll just go out and find a road and lick a wet one. So, yeah.
Let's talk about Ioli Italand.
That's easy for you to say, Pearcey.
I thought this was a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
It was
It's
on till the last
fantastic.
play, wasn't it? My goodness. Oh,
We discussed before about the jumping over to score, which, Hollie wasn't going to have that at all. Deliberate knockdown was a really good example, I felt, of where Hollie did review it and, deemed it as a yellow card because there was a clear, line break opportunity.
a liner break opportunity?
Line break opportunity.
I see what you did there.
Yes, Lou Liner, he didn't do enough. That was the problem.
Oh, I was like, what?
If he'd done a little bit more and was in a realistic position to catch it, he would have been okay, as had happened elsewhere in the game. But he just didn't. He just stuck out his mitt, and that was enough, and fair enough too. So, right call.
Yeah. I want to discuss the forward pass. If you guys saw that, I think from the pod in previous ones, we brought this up about how it's much better for the referees who are there on the field or in line to make the call. And I didn't see any indication that it was brought up in live play. It sounded as though even when they reviewed it and when they wanted to see it on a wider angle and this, that, and the other, I didn't really hear the process that was being given. My understanding was that the TMO told Hollie the decision.
Yeah, it was out of context for the rest of the game for me. And for me, I don't think the TV angle was great. We've spoken before. Yeah, I think Hollie was in a good enough position to call it. I can only assume in Gus's game there was some comment about, do you want me to check the pass? And he said, no, got it, play on.
Yeah.
Pass was good. We saw in Hollie's game, they were checking everything far more clinically, whereas in Gus's game, they were trying not to use the TMO live. So I think in practice, that's where that falls down, where we rely too heavily on the box.
Well, the Hollie's call was a try. So she let it go live, let it play out. Well done. Then we had a TMO check. And I think the issue was the screen at the ground, which Hollie was trying to use, wasn't actually very helpful. So it was unclear on the screen. So she's flicked it back and said, look, I'm having trouble seeing it on the screen. At which point, I think it was Tempo came out and said, it's clearly forward because he had a better screen, better angles. So I think he shortcut the process to get an answer quicker. It was still a little bit slow, but that was because they were trying to get Hollie to do it. But in the end, he sort of come in and go, right, no, just move on. And, it's one of those ones that was...
And I would love the referee to be the person putting that in context. I know it looks forward on the screen, but you'll see the angle of the camera isn't great. I was there live. I saw it. And I think that's where the process falls down.
Yeah.
If the referee's not making that call, I think that's where it falls down.
Well, interestingly enough, there was another one later in the game, which was very similar, and Hollie just called her on the spot.
Yeah. And I love
that. Yeah. So, there's always imperfection.
Yep. And we've spoken about the captains, and I think the Italians deserve a lot of credit there.
Absolutely.
I think I have a little quote of what the Italian captain said. I want to emphasize that the referee, Hollie Davidson, has been outstanding. It is obviously the first time ever for a woman referee in the Men's Six Nations, and I want to congratulate her. She has been doing so much for the world rugby and our game, and I think it's an important thing to say. Yay!
And I agree, and I hope Hollie can continue this run of just Midas touch everything she's involved in at the moment, because as referees, sometimes you get in a beautiful patch of form, and it doesn't last forever. So good luck to her. She's clearly doing some wonderful things. So it's great to watch.
Absolutely. Candace, did you want to have a question about the line out in the Italy game?
Oh, yeah, I think it was more of, so when the ball's released, it looks as though England was moving their pod past the 15-meter line.
Right.
And they caught it. It was just sort of like, I haven't seen that. Normally, they'll either catch it within the 15-meter and then it'll naturally move. Anyway, that was just something I noticed that I haven't really seen before. Or they lob it over the 15 meters, but then the backs get it. This was a new one that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah, you don't want to give the backs the ball.
That was that one I noticed. And I thought there was scrum advantage, I think, at the 78th minute of the game, which I didn't hear advantage over. There was a few phases, but they were sort of still in the same area. But that was just my sort of
It did get
view
kind of
of it.
noisy towards the end, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's quite possible there was an advantage over there somewhere.
That's what I mean. I was like, I
Yeah.
didn't hear it, but I
It
assumed
didn't
there
feel
was.
wrong. I just didn't hear it.
Yeah, correct. We had some referee down moments too.
We certainly did. We had some power poses,
Oh my
including
God, yeah.
Jordie lying prone,
Oh my goodness,
awarding
he
a
was a
try. What are you
pancake.
doing, brother?
He
Oh
was
man,
in some different positions.
yeah, he was lower than a snake's belly. It was just, and he still couldn't find the ball. Great effort. You can't fault the effort, right?
Yeah.
And on a hot day like that, I mean,
And Bok did the same thing. Bok was quite low on a few of his and found the ball a couple of times. When I was impressed that he found the ball. And as I've said, I was impressed on a lot of the live calls with Super Rugby. I thought they did a great job.
And look, for me, the most impressive call of the weekend was in the Tars match against the Reds on Friday night, and Paul Williams went back to the old recognise and remove. He's seen a player who's clearly had signs of concussion.
Wasn't that great?
And he has just owned that 100%. He's overruled the doctors who are faffing about for whatever reason.
I missed that one.
And he's calling the medical officer on and just recognised, I don't want to be on screen. I've made a bad call. Don't shine the camera on me.
Yeah, so he went to them and said, I have seen clear signs of concussion symptoms. His eyes roll back into his head. He's leaving the field.
And subsequent video review, category 1, right call. Thanks, Paul. Really well managed. I loved that.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't seen him referee better than that. There's a couple of moments. We spoke last week about the quick taps and having to watch the ball.
Yeah.
Can I highlight there was one at the 50-minute mark that didn't make the cut on the brief highlights, but Reds 10, can't remember his name, actually pretty good effort on his first game, went and got the ball at the 50-minute mark, brought it back to the mark and just sort of chipped it back to himself. Matt Phillip saw him do it and kind of said, has he tapped it? Has he tapped it? And went to come up and tackle him, but he did it a bit kind of asking for permission. We've seen it a couple of times, for example, when Springbok winger Colby dropped out. We all know he was passing the ball to his teammate, but he did do a drop kick.
Yeah.
This guy took a tap. He took a tap within that coffee table. If Matty Phillip had gone up and snotted him, it would be very, very hard to watch the video and say he didn't tap it. Waiting for permission, Matty Phillip. I think you were right to go and tackle him and ask for forgiveness later on. That was a mistake from the Reds 10, and I think Paul Williams softened it for him. That we spoke last week about the quick taps. That was a tap every day of the week. Met every definition of it. I would have loved to see Matty Phillip come up and snot him.
Game empathy, perhaps.
Yeah, and look, if he doesn't take that lesson, watch that because someone will score off it this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Good tip, Pearcey. Look, the only other thing I've noticed is talk about width. And when we used to say you got to earn the right to go wide, but I'm actually seeing the opposite at the moment. There's turnover ball or on one side of the field, and we're going wide really quickly. 2 long passes, multiple cutouts because you got players back for the 50-22 sweeping. So you got a shortage in the front line, and if you can get the ball wide quickly, you can get outside them. We saw that with France. We saw that in Super. Occasionally, it leads to an intercept as well because your pass isn't quite accurate enough, and someone goes, "I'll have that. Thank you very much," and off they go.
The Scottish captain threw a wide one to a winger who had 30 metres of space, but the loopy pass, he still nearly got tackled.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a winger. Interesting, Rob, on that. We are seeing that the wide person is quite often a back rower. We saw Pistol Pete, the last man a couple of times.
Edge forward.
It's a way they're playing the game. They want to bash the flanks a bit. I love it. It presents some interesting challenges as a referee positionally. I was watching Gus was a step off the breakdown quite often. It seems to be a safe spot there. But when you are a step off on the 15-metre channel here and they're hitting Pistol Pete on the sideline there, that's a long way to run to get into the same position.
Yeah, you got a motor. Absolutely. Yeah, the little pocket, the defensive pocket, very, very good space to be in. It's very common at the moment. Manage the breakdown and then manage your pillars because there's a lot of kicking. So,
and I love Gussie's management in his game. He was really good. I've got to say that first 20 minutes in that game, he looked gassed. Well, it wasn't the only one, But he was they were all redlining in that game in the first 20. And I think the Super Rugby games, all of them were. The Waratahs are clearly a fit out.
Oh,
outfit.
yeah.
But
Ooh.
even they were gassed at 20 minutes in. The Reds couldn't go within the last 20 minutes,
No.
but the Waratahs couldn't go with themselves in the first 20 minutes. And I thought Paul did a great job of going with that. He very much looked with the game.
Good fitness.
Yeah. No, he was good. We talked last week about whether the Six Nations referees will do a super game. We go, no, they'll need time to adjust. Nope. And there's Gussie, having been in Europe last weekend on a Friday night fixture in the South Island of New Zealand. So I reckon there's a fair chance his body clock was just going, where am I?
What's happening?
I don't want to be disrespectful here. That was a tough game for him physically. And late in the game, he looked a little bit proppy. He wasn't the only one on the field. Those guys that played 80 minutes, there's a few of them were very gassed. So I love it. I love that fatigue in everyone, especially referees. So it was great to watch.
Yeah, it was. Good theatre as ever. We've had lots of good theatre. So
I don't know how many times Hollie's received the golden whistle on the play on pod, but she gets it again every day of the week.
Yeah, I've written that one down.
Yeah, I think that's a fair
Look,
call.
if she's had it too many times, I'm happy to give it to Paul Williams for his management of the Fainga head knock. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, me too.
Player safety first. And we've seen Polynesian hookers tackling low at the feet get knocked out a fair bit. I don't want to see that happen to this guy too many more times, please. And I thought that was beautifully managed.
Righto. So do we want to do some appointments and some tips?
Let's do the tips. Who have we got this weekend?
Right. We've got England-Ireland at Twickenham. So an Irish team on the down playing a team they like to beat. England wounded at home. I mean, how good's that?
I'm going to tip England because they will have the absolute hell flogged out of them this week and they will have something to prove. And they didn't have a plan B on the weekend against Scotland. I think they will come out with a plan B that will save them. We know what the Irish are going to throw at them, fast defense, and I think they'll come up with a way of combating it. England by not many for me.
I'll go with England as well, actually, just because, I was supporting them last week, and I agree with you, Pearcey. They need to find out a plan B and work together better.
I can't see England being that shit 2 weeks in a row, and I'm with you. They will get absolutely reamed this week. There might be a few selection changes as well with people with points to prove. So I think they're going to come out and I think they're going to whack Ireland because I think Ireland, after the match against Italy, are cooked. Yeah. They struggled. They were taken to the limit. Their scrum, we haven't even talked about their scrum. Oh, my God.
Italy's scrum is beautiful.
That's the interesting part of it. Italy are not that bad. They are pretty
They're
strong.
Dark horse. Watch out.
Scotland the week before, we thought Scotland were weak. They're not. Scotland are good. We've just seen that.
Italy won the under-26 nations not so long ago. And that cohort's coming through. So, yeah. So I think England will pump Ireland. Then we've got Wales and Scotland with Wales at home. And
Scotland by 50.
Well, this is a test of the Scottish consistency.
Scotland.
They've been rocks and diamonds in the first 2 weeks. Are we going to get rocks again or are we going to get diamonds again?
We'll get diamonds.
Yeah, they come down off the Calcutta
If it was
Cup.
possible to get 2 bonus points, Scotland would get them.
So I think Pearcey thinks Scotland might win. Okay. What are you doing, Candace? Scotland?
Scotland as well.
Yeah. Look, I think it's going to be Scotland, but I think it might be a bit closer than we all think. So, and then the final one is France and Italy in Lille, which is northern France, almost up near the Belgian border. What do you reckon?
France. I think it'll be tight though.
Yeah, my mind is saying France, but I'm going to still go for Italy because I think I really like their momentum.
I would love to see the Italians win, but I'm tipping France. I think the French will see this as their easy week. They may rest a few and
that's danger.
They may regret it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they're actually suffering a few injuries as it is. Their main centres are out. Their backup nines are out. They've got a couple of other.
This is their risk. This is their week of risk. I think the French.
I agree. So they've got to keep a clean sheet.
I think, unfortunately for Italy, I think the French are just very deep. Even if they get the selections wrong, they're still good. Normally, we'd be worried about them getting the selections right, but number 2 and 3 are still okay.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
On to next, the appointments. I'm actually quite excited. I saw last night some of the Women's Six Nations appointments and some newbies that are going to be involved as well.
Yeah,
And some
absolutely.
inklings of some assistant referees for the Women's Six Nations that are going to be newbies as well. And actually, one of them used to referee me when I was playing. So I actually, once it's fully announced, then it'll be great to highlight that referee
Oh,
because
that's
I know
really
her quite
exciting.
well.
Oh, that's very exciting. So, yep. So all the Women's Six Nations appointments are out, and that kicks off on the 11th of April. We'll
Woo.
talk more about it in detail then, but suffice to say, there's some familiar names, friends of the pods in the middle,
Yep.
on the sidelines, and in the TMO box. So that's really exciting, and a debut for Jess
Woo.
Ling, which is very
Yes,
exciting.
I saw that. That's amazing.
Yeah, really excited for you, Ling Ling.
There's another girl. I can't remember where she's from though. Zoe something.
Yes, hold the line caller. Zoe Nald,
Yeah. Where is she from?
South Africa.
Oh, okay. Because I've seen her about, but maybe I just haven't heard her speak.
South Africa. So she's
Amazing.
taking charge of her first Six Nations test, as is Jess Ling. So a couple of
So
Six
good.
Nations debutantes. Amy Barrett-Taron takes charge of her 50th test.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Then we've got a couple of other women's internationals to discuss. So the Australia-Fiji match in
Yes.
Canberra. Friend
It's
of the
really
pod,
exciting.
Maggie Coggaraw on the whistle.
Woo.
Go Mags.
I saw her again. Yeah, she was assistant refereeing at the Super Rugby
Yep.
as well. So that was really exciting.
Friend of the pod, TMO, Rachel Horton is on that game as well. So, Rach, well done.
Woo.
Chloe Sampson and Erin Doherty from New Zealand are on the flags. And
Very
then we've got
good.
Pack 4 as well. What I'm really happy about here is Amber McLaughlin has come back from maternity leave. So congratulations, Amber.
Yes.
Great to see
Congrats.
you back.
It's so good as well seeing, I think we discussed it briefly before, where we have like Hollywood or Lauren, who represents Italy, like being able to go out and have that family time and have that return to refereeing as well. So, yeah, so good to see her back.
Now, I don't have the Super appointments for this weekend, but I got the Six Nations appointments for this weekend. England-Ireland at Twickenham, as we discussed. Andrea Piatti's on that.
Oh, yay.
With Pierre Brousseau and Gianluca Necchi on the flags, Matteo Lipperini and Mike Adamson in the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Wales, Scotland has got Matthew Carley, Carl Dixon and Adam Leal. So an all-English team of 3. Ian Tempest is the TMO and Eric Gozon is the foul play review officer there.
Mm-hmm.
France and Italy, Andy Brace is in the middle there. Luke Pearce, Owen Cross, Ollie Hodges, notionally Irish Football Union, but we know he's got Aussie in him, and Ben Whitehouse in the box there. So that's this weekend for Six Nations. And then locally, we've got some Super Rugby A and Super Rugby Next Gen. And that'll see Louis Trisley, Todd Cummings and Jordan Kaminsky on the whistle, with a smattering of other familiar names running flags. Hamish Quigley, another Hamish, need more Hamishes. Tom Chadwick, Sam Jones, Peter Van Asfagen, and Dan Andrews. So
good.
Well done to the Premier there as well. So some names that we know well. Whistle and flag, well, team.
I love that. It's such an exciting weekend.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, plenty of footy.
Plenty of footy.
No doubt about that. And I reckon that's about where we've landed, Candace.
Yeah, I think we've covered a lot. And I'm going to save any future captain chats or law of the week for another time. I feel like Andre will have a really good captain chat sort of in him. I'm going to foresee that.
Fair enough. Yes.
Candace, I thought you were bloody wonderful this week.
Thanks.
Rob, I have enjoyed watching a lot of rugby and talking with you about it. I still think we're pretty shit about it, though. So we can get better. Let's keep working on it.
We're owning that shit, Pearcey.
And remember, guys, we're on YouTube as well. So, yeah, thank you all for listening to Play On Pod, and see you next week.
And can I just jump in? Ben Crow, my favourite sports coach, just released a book, Where the Light Gets In. Read it.
When the light gets in.
That man, he is brilliant.
All
What
right.
is it about? Is it like a good
self-improvement
coaching site? Self-improvement.
Self-coaching, self-improvement. Understand yourself, understand what you want. He's got some pretty amazing athletes under him. Ash Barty, for one. Trent Cotchin, Steph Gilmore. Yeah, there's a few there.
Play on Pod Book Club.
Love it.
There we go.